Hari Om. Hari Om. Hello, my friends. There is a profound, bottomless peace, always present. It's not just a peaceful mind. There is a peace prior to that. Nothing can touch that, hurt that. It remains, no matter what is happening. Against that peace, all the noise, all the happenings are perceived. There is a pure consciousness. Against the background of that pure consciousness, all the mental movements are perceived. Everything that is happening is perceived against that background of that pure consciousness, immovable. There is pure energy. Against the background of that pure energy, all the movements, whatever is happening, is perceived. Everything that is manifest is in movement, changes all the time. There is prior to that pure energy. And there is that pure love. Against the background of that pure love, all our mental stuff is being perceived. All the moods that come and go, the feelings that change all the time. Prior to that, there is that pure love. It's never absent. Be looking for it because everybody is yearning to consciously experience that. Deep down, we know this is our true nature. Somehow, being manifested in this world, we have lost that touch. We've forgotten about it, but that yearning to come back to it is there in everybody. Everybody wants to be happy. Unfortunately, we have then learned that this happiness has to be found in things here and there and do so many things, hoping to touch that pure love, that pure consciousness, that pure energy, diving in that peace. And it never works. It seems to work for a moment, but it always passes. It's here, it's now, it's present, it's never absent. We just somehow have to learn to let go of all that stuff that we have accumulated and are holding on to, that creates all these layers between our conscious experience and that base, that immovable base that is full of joy, full of potential, full of creativity, that would like to express itself beautifully. We just have to come home. We just have to become natural. Coming back to our true natural nature. It's not there for some people and absent for others. It's the base of all manifestation, the base of all life. It's the base of all consciousness. So we just can come back to being aware of consciousness, being aware of being aware, following it back to its source. We just can put our attention to the energies that we are perceiving in our body. Feel the body sensations and follow that energy back to its source. The emotional love rises and falls, but it comes to everybody, at moments at least. There is that emotion, the love, the attraction. We can just put the attention to that and following it back right into the heart, to the source where it's coming from. That's all that is needed. Instead of always striving, struggling, hoping by doing this, doing that, we are going to achieve something, achieve that peace, achieve that sense of being complete. It need not be achieved, it's already here, it's always there. It's against the background of that everything is happening, everything is perceived, everything is experienced. There's nothing wrong with manifestation. What is wrong is that we are not aware, that we are prior to it. There's nothing wrong with playing a role, a personal role, a personal life story. What is wrong is that we are identifying with it and we think we are that limited personality separate from everything else. But that life that we are perceiving, even from the personal standpoint, is that life that springs from that same well. We just can start wherever our consciousness is, wherever our attention is, we can start right there. Sometimes people ask me, but how can I distinguish between the real I and the false I? Between the real consciousness or the false consciousness, there are not two I's or two consciousnesses. When somebody does self-inquiry, ask the question, who am I? Then we start where the experience is. But if we hold on to that I thought instead of going out for so many other thoughts and learn to relax in that, then it leads us back to that original I amness that is not separate from anything else. That is essentially that pure consciousness, that pure energy, that pure love. But not separate and yet unique. We just can somehow find our way back to that. It's not out there, it's not at the end of a long journey. Here, now, in the timelessness of the now, we're finding what we are looking for. We are finding fulfillment, the sense of completion. And if we don't stand in the way of that, if we stop putting layers and layers of unnecessary tensions on top of it, then the experience of that will simply start to unfold effortlessly, beautifully. We are like a poor person, lives in a hut, has hardly the means to survive, feels totally poor, jealous of those who seem to have more, not knowing that right under it there is a great treasure buried in the compound where the little hut is standing. It's there for the asking. The potential, the possibility is there for everybody. Just learn to turn the attention back to its source instead of struggling and hoping to find fulfillment by achieving this, achieving that. Then the life story can be lived. Nothing wrong according to the potential, according to whatever gift one has, whatever ability one has to, to work with. If we don't forget that we just temporary, playing a role, there is no harm in it. Then the life can become a beautiful expression of that inner beauty. But there is always the awareness, there is a deep joy of existence, unaffected, unconcerned with what is happening. That happiness that everybody is yearning for is already here. We just have to learn to look in the right place, learn to let go of the sure, powerful forces that want to pull us away. Powerful because we have been functioning in a certain way for a long time. And the habit has its own force to just repeat itself over and over. In manifestation, there will be all kinds of forces that try to distract us because they are benefiting when we are distracted. But the possibility is there all the time, wherever we go, anywhere, anytime. Just let the attention sink back to the bottom, to that bottomless peace. That peace is not dead. That peace is full of life, full of joy, full of creativity, full of beauty, potential. It would like to express itself in this manifestation. There's nothing wrong being in manifestation, conscious in manifestation. What is wrong is that we think we are only that little separate being and we can give up that idea, learn to not be attached to it. Stop thinking from the day, from the moment one wakes up till one goes to sleep around that little story over and over and over. I, me, mine. Stop worrying all the time whether people like me or don't like me. What are they talking about me? Once we are aware that we ourselves are artificially keeping that illusion of being a separate person alive, then we can also understand people that they act the way they act because they're doing the same thing. It's a general Maya, it's a general delusion of this world that everybody is totally identified with their role that they are playing instead of being aware. This is just a possibility to express one's own inner divine beauty. It's worth the trouble. We can go about it playfully, not go about it as a terrible task that we have to perform, but just learn to be awake, aware what's going on in the mind, with a good, honest look at it. And if we start to really look honestly at what's going on, automatically we start to let go of a lot of things. Because usually it's not so fantastic what we are seeing there. Everything that is strengthening that awareness that we are connected, that all is one, we need not try to push that away. You can go on playing that play, being aware there is always that aspect that is not affected. But everything that creates more of the feeling that I'm separate, the me, and the other, that we can learn to let go because when we have a good look at it, when we see how it's functioning, we become aware it always creates pain. It always creates suffering. And suffering is not needed. It's needed if we cannot look at it, and then sometimes suffering is needed as a wake-up call. But if we are alert, if you are awake, we become more aware we need not suffer. Because there is that aspect that is not affected, that is never suffering. And we can take refuge in that and then face whatever is happening in manifestation. And right now there is all over the world so much going on that wants to create pain, that wants to create suffering, that wants to make people feel more separate, more isolated. But if we are aware of it, then we can take refuge in that space that is not affected by all this, and then not being pushed around in manifestation because we take our security, we take our strength from our own resource. Somehow or other, we just have to remind ourselves. Somehow or other, we have to convince our own thinking, feeling, acting that it is worth the trouble to look this direction instead of going on exhaustingly, struggling, running, hoping to get somewhere, something. when we go about that sincerely, then more and more we become aware. Whenever there is joy in our life, it's bubbling up from our own source. And then, even on the mental level, the interest is getting awakened, getting really kindled. That, yes, it's worth the trouble. It's not that we are missing happiness in life if we are looking back to the source. In contrary, we become aware where the happiness is coming from and diving deeper and deeper into that resource. This is our birthright. We all have the possibility to do so. Hario, Hario, Hario. All right, my friends. Now I have been talking. Now I'm asking you, is there anyone here who would like to come in and say something? You are welcome to do so.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Per.
You can hear me?
I can hear you, and I see a beautiful landscape, a
Oh,
snowy landscape.
oh, yeah. It's almost disappearing now. It's become warmer. I have a question. Oh, you can't see me, but I've got my iPhone. I don't know how to turn this.
Uh,
I have a question about drowsy meditations.
uh-huh.
Yeah, when you're sleepy, and I mean I've seen this so many times. People around their heads bowing down, going
Yeah,
somewhere. I've heard that if you go into this state, it's sort of like a blackout. It's not like you have a meditation, you go deep and you're aware.
yeah,
This other state I've heard sort of zaps you. And I'm thinking about, I mean, you have all these vibrations around you, and there's a distinct difference if you take a power nap. I mean, for 5 to 15 minutes, and you wake up out of that, and you're very refreshed. But
yeah.
this thing has been following me for many years. Sometimes I wonder if it's better just to lie down and take a little nap than sitting here and sort of
Hmm.
knocking my head on my breast. Yeah.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
that this state sort of opens up for negative impulses that can sort of, I mean, when you meditate, you do a certain technique, but if you take a power nap, it's not like that. You just relax and then you wake up in 10, 15 minutes refreshed.
Yes.
So the question is that when you do the meditation and you're very tired and you sort of just black out, that this is not good for you, actually.
Well,
That,
don't be afraid. It's not terribly harmful. It's not that some harm is going to happen to you when that is happening. And
okay.
yes, everybody who has sincerely meditated. Oh, now I can see you.
I saw the symbol. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And every day who has sincerely tried to meditate knows about that. That there comes the moment, whoop, um,
Mm.
one drifts off.
Yeah.
Sleepiness
Yeah.
is coming, and it's also not so miracle. It's not so astonishing that this is happening because we are going the same way, same direction first, like when we go to sleep. When we go to sleep, we just prepare the space that we feel comfortable, and then we withdraw the attention from all our mental stuff, from the daily stuff, and think deeper. And at a certain moment, poof, we sink into unconsciousness. And with meditation also, we withdraw the attention from all the mental stuff and going in the same direction, and then out of habit, it pulls us towards that unconsciousness. Well, don't be afraid. It's not that it's dangerous. It's not going to harm you. But it's better that when you become aware of it, that you do at that moment something about it.
Yeah. Okay. Go up and walk around or something. Yes.
Just get up, walk around, sit again,
Yeah.
or maybe you just keep sitting and do some breathing or something that wakes you up.
Yeah.
Or if you
Yeah.
think you are just too exhausted, then you can also decide, okay, I'm going to lay down for some time, take a nap, and then I'll sit up and meditate again.
Yeah. Good. Then that's out of my picture. Thank you.
Yeah, need not be afraid, but
No.
it's better to do something about it, because you can spend a lot of time in that drowsy state and it doesn't bring much.
Right.
Right, right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Hariho.
Thank you, Werner. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to come in?
Hello.
Hello, Andreas.
Um, yeah, that was a very good and nice description you gave about this kind of consciousness. And then you say that it's not difficult to get there, but I never manage really. What's the mistake?
Well, often I say to the people, it's not difficult. What I mean when I say it's not difficult is what we need to do. It's not that somehow, Per, can you please turn off your microphone? It's slightly interfering.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's not off. I
Yeah,
wonder why the sound was so loud. Let's see now. There.
yeah. It's still not off.
Okay.
Oh, right. Now you got it. Uh, So, Andreas, right, when often I say to people, what we need to do, it's not difficult. It may be then not so easy for the mind to keep doing it, to stay with it out of habit. The temptation is always to slip off. But basically, all we need to do in one way or another, catch the attention and come back to that source of it. And I'm sure you're coming back home to that. The moment, sometimes it will go longer, but then out of habit, the mind comes again. We think again, we wander off, going after something. Then don't think you're doing something wrong. Just accept, okay, that pull to do the opposite is just too strong to stay there. But when you become aware, oh, I'm again already running off somewhere after something. Even if it's spiritual, what we are thinking about, there we are gone again from the direct, immediate experience, and there's nothing else to do, but consequently, when you become aware of that, turn around again. Come back home to that immediate, direct awareness of being here. being now alive, conscious.
And that's not a complicated technique, right? It's more just a turning, like you said, a turning around.
Right. We can learn all kinds of complicated techniques, and if one feels attracted to it, one can do so, but the point of it is the same, like what you can achieve with very simple techniques, simple helps. Just for those who do inquiry, just a question. But who is thinking? Hey, who am I? Hey, yeah, be right back. It's not a difficult technique. It's just a way, a means to catch the attention and come back. Or whether you do it more in your Vipassana type way that you have learned in your Buddhist time. You are aware of the body sensations, you are aware of the breath, but then add to it, when you are aware in the presence, relax in that. Not somehow desperately try to push the experience on higher levels or something, but just be connected and relax it in it. Be open, and then things will start to happen by themselves.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to open, and it feels kind of good, especially if I do it in the Ramana ashram. And but just like, yeah, open up in a way. This like, but then I remember you saying that you should, or that's maybe the question, should you still focus? Like, I'm not doing body scan, I do breath meditation, but I mostly drop it then. But then I remember you saying that you should try to focus on the point. Like, is it good in that state to do that, or what would you advise?
It's one possibility to just still keep a center, a physical center, just to keep you alert. But you can also, if you don't like that, you can also just consciously feel still, feel your whole body, the body energy, and relax the whole thing, and keep on relaxing, and keep on giving the impulse, let go. Because if you dive into that essence and are firmly rooted, then the question whether you should do something or not is also not rising. But when it's like a fickle thing that we're touching, and then it has the tendency to go off again, it's helpful if we have some easy help to just, as we see that it's turning around and wanting to slip off, that we just come bring it back again. But then once you are really here now, consciously conscious, you just are open. You need not do anything about it. As soon as we become aware, there I'm wandering off, then you do the same thing again.
So if it's working good, you just let it unfold by itself.
Let it unfold by itself. And be alert that it's not happening what Per just described before. That when it's feeling comfortable and nice and quiet and calm, then it's also easy to slip into a drowsiness, dreamlike state. And for that, it's good then to again come back to just, okay, you feel your body, feel your whole body, and keep on relaxing. Relax, relax. And then it clarifies the experience immediately again. It clarifies that attention that it's not getting drowsy and slipping off.
Sometimes I try to focus like on my third eye,
Yeah,
not like as a spiritual context, but like when I'm more and more relaxing, it's like a light that I'm seeing in this area.
yeah.
And yeah, then I just try to focus on that or let it unfold by itself.
Yes, but you can keep on focusing on that even if you feel quiet. And simultaneously be focusing on that light that you are seeing, that you're perceiving. Learn to consciously also relax.
When I sit long meditations, it's very difficult to relax my legs because they're getting more tense and tense after a couple of hours. I
After
mean,
a
then I
couple
change
of hours, I
I
think
mean, I always get up every half hour,
Mhm.
but then I sit for 5 minutes, but then I sit down again for a while. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, I'm meditating a couple of hours a day, and
Yeah.
so it's like the legs get tense, and it's it's very difficult to relax them.
Relax as good as you can, but then if you feel okay, that's enough, then you get up and do something else and walk and keep your meditative attitude as good as you can.
Yeah, that's a little bit difficult right now in the Ramana ashram because of Ponga
Yes, right.
when I walk around.
Yes, you can walk up the mountain. Even there are people, but there are less people. I mean, if you feel now you were sitting and it's getting just more and more tense, you can also decide, okay, set enough for the time being, and rather walk a bit. And if it's too busy in the ashram or anyhow in town, down at the road, then you can also walk up on the mountain a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mostly there I lose my focus. When I walk too long in nature, it's I cannot my mind starts
Mm.
producing too many thoughts. It's better when I walk like 5 minutes through the ashram and
Yeah.
then sit down again. That keeps the I wouldn't say concentration or collectedness better together than walking up the mountain.
Sure, sure. I just said when you have been sitting already for a long time and you feel you are getting more tense and you cannot more relax, then you may also accept, okay, I quit for the moment trying to sit and instead of that walk. And yes, out out of habit, because you have done a lot of sitting meditation, it's now easier to come back again and to be alert what's going on, and you have not so much practiced that same thing when you were walking in nature, but rather let the mind go. So the habit will pull you quicker when you are there in nature, but you can learn that you more and more are capable to do so also there.
How do you do it?
You use the same tools. Like you don't the scanning of the body, but you are aware of the body sensations. When you walk, you can be aware what is happening in the body, aware how the body feels, aware how you feel somehow attracted to the beauty of the nature, attracted to the living beings there without going away from your own life, from your own consciousness. And keep on being aware of the breath. When you walk, you breathe consciously and you are right back there.
Yeah, usually I don't manage very good when I do walking too. I mean, it's getting a little bit better in the last 1 or 2 years, but still, it, it's no comparison to the point of collectedness that I reach when I do sitting meditation and or like formal walking meditation.
By all means, keep on sitting and do formal walking. I simply say when it's getting too much and you feel it's your body is getting too strained, then you don't have to force yourself to go on and on. Then rather do something else, but bring that attention, that awareness, that alertness as good as you can into that situation.
Okay.
Okay. Hario.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Is there anybody else who would like to say something? You're welcome.
Hello.
Hello, Leela.
I was walking here down the small forest we have, and I was wondering about the comparing mind, the tendency to compare, like she's happy and I'm not, he's rich and I'm not, and so on.
Yeah.
But then you spoke in the beginning about the natural joy and beauty. So probably those two subjects, no, it's not a good word, but yeah, these two subjects are connected, as if I'm like in this kind of consciousness about the natural joy and beauty and ease and love. Then probably the comparing mind will be less aggressive,
Yeah.
less active.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, is it a question? I'm not sure, but maybe you have something to say about it.
You said when you are walking in the beautiful forest, then the tendency is coming that you start to compare. Did I understand
No,
that?
it's not. It's not coming. The tendency. It's more of wondering. Wondering about it. It's not like the tendency specifically today. I didn't feel the tendency to compare, but I recall I know very much this feeling of comparing mind, this action or this state of being. Yeah, I would say state of being of the comparing mind. Specifically, when I walked in the forest, I was relaxed and happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Naturally.
So, right, you didn't say it's happening when you walk in the forest. It just happened today like this. Yeah.
Yeah, it came as a thought. It's not that I was busy comparing. It came as a thought, but probably some emotions were behind it, which I wasn't so aware of. Maybe.
Right. And you remembered that whole field of comparing all the time. That's also how thoughts are happening and how talk is happening. First is that pure consciousness, and then there comes the potential for a whole field out of that. And then when we are not aware of that and go into it, then we start to go for specific thoughts and then specific words and actions. But if you become aware of that emerging potential field of a lot of thinking, a lot of activities, and you decide, no, I'm not going for it. then you can actually already come back to your just to your consciousness without having to go into the whole realm of thinking, comparing, and then struggling out of it. And obviously that is a thing that has been there, and then the memory comes. Often this bubbles up when there is quietness, then that may come up. But if you are aware of it, that it's coming up, then you need not even go into the field, but you just see, it's there. And I used to always be sucked into it, but then you decide you are not going to suck into it before it even really starts.
Yeah, I know. I do. I often do it. But also sometimes it like takes over. Yeah, but I know it's familiar to me, this kind of like ability to stop it and like to in a way cut this line of comparing and this inner noise
Right.
in the mind. Yeah.
That possibility is only there when we already are aware, the whole thing starts to emerge before we really go into it. If we are not aware, then finally we find ourselves, there I'm going again in the midst of it. And then never mind, then you catch your attention where it is there and just somehow learn to redirect it back to the source. But if you are already aware, there, it's like the memory, the imprint of a whole field starts to show up, but you are aware of it, then you can dismiss it already without even going into it. If we are not aware, then we find ourselves suddenly in the midst of it, and then, okay, never mind. There you catch yourself and come back home again as good as you can.
Yeah. Sometimes I just reflect to myself what kind of reflection comes from my side to the people around me. Let's say yesterday I was spending time with my family and my grandchildren, and somehow the atmosphere was very good and happy. And then it has like momentum, then it gets even more good and happy.
Mm-hmm.
And they both wanted to fix my hair somehow. Even the boy, who is 9 years old, he also wanted to fix my hair. And the girl, of course, she likes to do it often, but he also wanted. And it was such a sense of joy there. So what I'm just trying to say is that somehow something notices that it's there, then it just like becomes more and more,
Right, the
as
more
if it changes. The fact that I notice it changes like the atmosphere to the better.
yeah.
The same that happens when there is like negative inner speech or negative. If I notice the negative spots, then it becomes the opposite.
What do you mean it becomes the opposite?
Then I become more and more less happy, less
Ah,
and less happy.
right. But there, like in the first scenario, you are in a happy situation, but it's not that if you keep on connecting with yourself and being alert and aware, that is somehow standing in the way of that experience of the happy situation. In contrary, it's
Yeah,
intensifying, as you said. But then
yeah.
when you are facing a negative situation and you're getting more and more unhappy, it's because you are also more and more losing the conscious touch with yourself.
Mm.
If you can keep the touch, then in spite of the negative situation, you won't lose yourself. You won't lose your awareness of being complete. Superficially, it's less funny. Whatever it's happening, superficially, there may be tension, but you can learn that even in those situations, you still connect, and then you don't feel that you are getting more and more unhappy. You're simply witnessing a not so happy situation, and your very capacity of not being sucked into the unhappiness of it actually contributes that it can pass smoother and faster, because there you're bringing another energy into it. The tendency is when there is a negative energy, we respond in the same level with negativity and increase it. And there we become also less unhappy, more unhappy, less happy. But if you are learning, then in spite of the tension, in spite of a aggression in a room, you still connect with your essence, then actually you are not diminishing your happiness, and instead of that, also for the external situation, you simply radiating something without wanting to. It's just happening. Something beneficial that may help all those parties that are participating in the negativity to maybe also come easier out of it.
Probably. I'm aware I'm very familiar with such situations, specifically with my children.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. And thank you. It's a good, reflection. Yeah.
So it's not a must. It need not be that when we are in an unhappy situation, that we are getting unhappier and unhappier. It need not be. It's the pull is that we're slipping into that. But once we know that, and once we consciously redirect the attention, then you can become aware. You can be happy, connected with yourself in the most unhappy situation.
Yes, right. I know. I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize. Yeah. Thank you, Werner.
You're welcome. Hario.
Adios.
Hario. Anyone would like to come? You're welcome. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Werner. Pavlo.
Pablo, hello.
Hello. I have a small question for you. So about this peaceful state, this conscious state, what you said, in which comes after, not after, during meditation, yeah, like samadhi or something like this. So I have experienced that in my first Vipassana course, and during the last maybe half years, I tried to be aware, like you say, all tricks. It's return the awareness to the source, like this. Yeah. But not but I have the wife, Julia, and we sitting and meditate together. She could not attend the Vipassana course or could not have this experience of these tricks or returning of awareness to inner self. So for her, it's difficult for me, it's difficult to explain to her how to do it. And for her, it's difficult to understand. And I say to her, so just sit and meditate, just try, relax, breathe, like you say. Oh, but she said, okay, I'm not feeling nothing. I feel like ego. I'm feeling like all common people, yeah. But I cannot turn, return this awareness. So I want to ask you, how can I help to you, or how can I help to her to show this small tricks with this returning? I don't know how it's called.
Yeah. You help her most by doing it as much as you can yourself. Hello, Julie. We help,
Yeah.
we help most by doing the job ourselves. So it's not really some kind of magic trick that you have to teach. What can be transmitted is not a magic trick, and the ones who have understood the trick, they are capable of doing so, and those who don't understand the trick, they can't.
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. But maybe you can give some advice to my wife and how she can try to reach this state in she is 15 years in the yoga. She have so much different practice, but she cannot get she cannot reach this peaceful state. Often I heard that she's suffering because she's as much attend to the egoistic part. And I say, okay, just continue, but it's not works.
Yes, but no attempt that you are doing is in vain. It's for nothing. No attempt, no effort is for nothing. Even if on the superficial level you think, oh, I'm still busy on the same level, going round and round, subtly things are changing. And if you continue, then suddenly maybe you experience something much deeper. And every story is different. You cannot say in one story, because it goes like this, then the other story also should go like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I came to Amma first and started to sit all the time, I'd been sitting before and sometimes having nice dates, but then I started to sit all the time and thought, now immediately it's going to be peaceful and cosmic. And instead of that, the opposite happened. It's like my mind was getting worse and worse and worse because, because so much stuff was still there. I was not even aware that it is there. Carrying along unfulfilled desires, aggressions, and then trying to keep quiet all the time, then it really start to come to the surface. And I felt I'm not getting anywhere, but later I would see that also in those times, this was not at all time wasted. In contrary, it just had to come up and we have to learn to let go. So my advice to Julia is that when you see that the mind is there all busy on the ego level, then don't fight with it. Then just, but try not to get sucked into the stories. Try to be aware, what are these thoughts doing to your experience right now? When you think about things, when you think about ego stories and me and the others and the fellow satis, and then try to feel what is doing these what these thoughts, what these emotions are doing right now. Feel how it feels physically in your body, how it feels energetically. Watch your body, watch your energy when you think this thing, and learn to relax. And then that stuff that is locked into it starts to evaporate, and gradually it's coming down and you're getting more peaceful.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
so
much.
much. Yeah, thank you so much, Werner.
You're welcome. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hello, Vikas.
Hari Om, Werner. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
I got my daughter initiated by Amma last Saturday.
Initiated means got the mantra.
Yes, yes, yes.
Aha.
But it's difficult for me to make her sit. I try to make her sit once. She has been told to do one mala every day.
Mhm.
So sometimes she tells me lies that she has done it. Other times I try to make her tell her to come and sit and do one in front of me. So, what is your advice? How should I tell her to do?
Well, don't be too strict with her. Otherwise, she's getting pissed about the whole thing and doesn't want, in a short time, she doesn't want to do anything. But rather, if you can keep it playful more, then she gets more interested. And if she doesn't want to sit down and half an hour and do a mala, then you can tell her, okay, at least try 5 minutes, huh? And then the next day also 5 minutes. And if she does a little, then gradually she may by herself do a little more. If you try to force her, then there will invariably that comes the resistance, and after some time she doesn't want to do anything. So you have to be patient with her. And rather than to take it literally, take it there as a direction that she comes to the point where she could sit half an hour and do her mantra. Look at it rather as a direction than, no, she should now day after day sit down half an hour and do that. You cannot force really people to spiritually open up. You can push a little, you can pull a little, you can give an example, you can inspire, but then everybody has to make the steps by themselves, also a kid.
Right, right. I had a second question regarding Amma. I wanted to do this I am meditation, which she teaches, but I did not have time. But a person I spoke to, he told me that it is very similar to Kriya Yoga.
Mhm.
So, who like Amma learned this from whom? Who was Amma's guru? Is it known? Who was
Amma
Amma's
didn't,
guru?
Amma didn't have any manifested guru. No. She really had that consciousness her whole life long. There's some she's one of the rare cases where that usual thing didn't happen, that what happened to all of us, that complete forgetfulness of what we really are. It seems in Amma's case it was always there. And then uh, she learns from everything, but she didn't have any particular manifested guru. But then I remember when she Then I came here with her the first time in 1982. We visited Tiruvannamalai, and there came 3 girls from Switzerland, and the whole thing was a bit new for them. Obviously, they were more like as tourists traveling through India, but then they asked all kinds of questions. And then one girl asked, "But Amma, can you still learn anything?" And Amma said, "Yes, but I'm learning all the time. I'm learning from all the people. I'm learning from all the trees. I'm learning from the birds. I'm learning from everything." So, but
So
there
it
was
is.
no one who instructed her in that particular meditation.
So we can't really understand how she learns and how she teaches her. She's beyond most of us, I think.
I think, yes, it's no point of trying to figure out how Amma is functioning. We can get a lot of support from her and a lot of inspiration, and then we have to look at our own functioning and learn to let go of those things that create troubles. But not really, it's only speculation trying to figure out uh, in such a being what is really going on.
Right. Thank you, Werner. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hario, Hario. Is there anybody else who would like to come, say something? Basically, we all have access to all the knowledge, to all the spiritual depth there is. We just forgotten it, and so we struggle to somehow make those connections again. But it's there in everybody. Deep down, we are never ever disconnected. And if we just had the ear to listen, the sense to feel that inner guidance, then from step to step, from moment to moment, we wouldn't have any doubt, because whatever knowledge that is needed would just come bubbling up to the surface to be applied in the present situation. Nobody is disconnected from that. But the more we are creating all those mental clouds, all those mental tensions, all those obstacles that let us consciously connect with that, the more we have to work somehow to get rid of that in order to regain what actually should be natural. There are some few rare beings where this has not happened, where that connection always was there. And so they have also come with quite a different intensity than everybody else. But that need not be disheartening for us, for everybody else, but because the potential is there in everybody. And then anyhow, it doesn't make sense ever to wonder too much how are the others functioning. What makes sense is to have a good, honest look at ourselves, to see what's going on in our own psyche, and then learn to let go of all the stuff that prevents us from being in our natural state. And then you come back to the question before, but how to get into higher states. There are different yogic paths, yogic techniques that try to push people into higher states. But it's not so much necessary that we try to push ourselves into higher states. What is necessary is to clean out the obstacles and be at that basic peace. And then the story is unfolding effortlessly by itself. And it's different from one to another. Each story is unique. The essence is the same. The experience and how it's unfolding is very different. So it's not so much that we have to struggle to push our experience into a higher state. It's more that we become aware what we're really doing in our consciousness where we are right now and see how we preventing that consciousness to expand, to unfold naturally, effortlessly, how we are preventing it with our mental mechanisms, with our attachments, with our holding on to habits that are rather destructive, that create more that sense of being isolated and separate instead of becoming more aware that all is connected, all is one. In that oneness, there is the uniqueness of the being, and yet it's still all one. Everybody has that connection to that knowledge. To that experience. And since it seems nobody is eager to talk right now, let's spend again a few minutes just keeping quiet. Benefiting from that space we have created together. Essentially, we are always connected with everything, yet in that manifestation, again today we have created this space. No matter how we are, where we are physically, that we have energetically created a space that helps us to connect easier. And so let's again spend a few minutes making use of that, benefiting from that. Those who sit comfortably and if possible somewhat straight without being stiff. If you are walking somewhere, just gently keep walking. Feel the body and relax as good as you can. Gently breathe in and breathe out. and relax. And when the thoughts come, when the mind wants to wander off, just don't get interested. You don't have to fight it. Just redirect the attention to being here now, conscious. Consciously breathe in, breathe out, and relax. Here, now, is timeless. This sense of presence is timeless. Stay with it. Get rooted in it. The attention wants to wander away, the mind wants to wander off. Just redirect the attention to simple breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, relax. No need of struggling with the thoughts, trying to control them, trying to suppress them, trying to push them away. Simply don't get interested. When the attention wants to run off, simply return to that immediate, direct awareness of being here, now, alive, conscious. Intensely alert and yet relaxed. Alert and relaxed. Just come home. Be natural. And now, even if you are putting again more aware of the body, and after that we get up, we are active, we can still remain aware of that naturalness, of that simple way of being. Sometimes externally active, sometimes inactive, but never really apart. I wish you all well. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.